Hey everyone! Today we're going to be going over basic facial proportions. Now, for this video, I won't be going over more detailed things like how to draw eyes or noses or lips or anything like that. Today we'll just be going over where everything is supposed to be placed, and then we'll be using just the simple shapes as kind of placeholders of where everything is located. Just a disclaimer about this video, after doing quite a bit of research before this video, I found that there's actually quite a few different ways to do proportions on the face. Some have you using, half of this, while others use a third. Some use like these really crazy shapes that go everywhere. And that's reminded me of something very important, and that's that whatever way works best for you, that's the correct way of doing it. Okay? What I'm going to be teaching you today, though, is the way that I was taught it. Throughout my high school career, throughout my college career, these are the proportions that I was taught how to use. So for this video, we'll be going over a frontal view with the proportions. We'll be going over side view. We'll be going over finding the shapes and stuff like that using a stock photo, kind of just as an example to see, oh yeah, that is where everything kind of sits, and also how it affects, where the face is pointing. And then again, using those same figures that we've been using for the past couple weeks, we will be drawing some very simplified faces on our characters. Now, when I say simplified, I really do mean it. Today, we're going to be working with just like almond shapes for the eyes. Our noses are just going to be triangles, and our ears are just going to be like parentheses. So it is going to be very, very simple. But you got to start somewhere. So the first thing that we're going to do is we have this circle here. You're going to start off with a circle whenever you were drawing someone's head, okay? From that circle, to the best of my ability, I'm going to draw a line straight down the center. Now I'm going to go a little bit past the circle, and I will explain to you a little bit later on why we go as far as we do, okay? It's actually kind of hard to explain without the other parts of the face, but it's something that eventually you'll just kind of figure out as you keep practicing this, these proportions. From here, we are going to add our chin, okay? So when it comes to adding the chin, you want to very lightly, gradually attach the side of the head to the point of that center line, okay? One of the mistakes that I often see my students doing is they have the chin just kind of go like that rather than gradual, or they'll start up here, which is correct. You want to start at the apex of the circle, but then they'll go like kind of around like that. But so you want to make sure that you're just gradually making it go into it, okay? Now, it's important to note that when the face is facing different ways, this shape is going to look different. So on my profile picture, I wouldn't just go straight down like that. I would actually go down and then back up. Okay, so I'm going to get some different kind of, shapes going on. It's still this kind of like egg-shaped. Okay, it's just that it's tilting different ways and stuff like that. Okay, and I'll show you in a little bit how to turn this into a profile picture. But going back to our frontal view, from the top of my head to the bottom of my chin, I'm going to draw a line halfway across. Just like that. And this is where my eyes are going to sit. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw 4 eyes across, okay? I've seen some places say that it's 5, but I've also seen some places say that it's 4. I was taught with 4 eyes. So what we're going to do is we're not going to just draw the eyes right next to each other, because that looks weird and that's not what people look like. Instead, what we're going to do is lightly draw an eye in the center. Draw the next eyes next to it. These are our actual eyes. And then I'm going to draw a half eye on each side. So it's still 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how I was taught how wide the eyes are. Next up, we're going to draw the nose. Okay, so for the nose, it is from this line where our eyes are down to the chin, it's a third of the way down. So goes right about here. These next two steps are actually what I found the most helpful that I learned when it comes to drawing proportions, and that's using the eyes to measure the nose and the mouth. So the way that you use the eyes to measure the nose, we're going to go to the corner of the eye, go straight down, corner of the eye, go straight down, and this is where our nose is. That's how wide our nose is from one corner of your eye to the other one, okay? Now for the lips, which is another third of the way down, which makes this very easy because a third of the way down from the nose down to here, to your chin, that is where it meets the circle. So that makes it very easy to do. Now on the eyes, right in the center, this is where the drawing of the face gets a little creepy, we're going to add the pupils. And the pupils, from the center of them, we're going to go straight down, and that is the edges of our mouth. So from the edges inside of our eyes, that's our nose, and from the inside of our pupils, that's our mouth. Now going back to what I was mentioning about the chin. The chin is another third down from the mouth to the chin. Is the same distance between the nose and the mouth and the eyes and the nose. It's the same, the mouth to the chin. So you can see third. So eventually, you know, like I said, that's how you'll kind of understand how far down you need to go. So just kind of keep that in mind whenever you're drawing, you know, how far you want your chin. The last part is the ears. They're going to go top of the eyes, down to the bottom of the nose, top of the eyes, bottom of the nose. Okay? A little bit above the eyes, we have our eyebrows, and that's going to do it for our face. Now, over here on the profile, which the profile is the side view of the face, this still is basically the same thing. You're still using the same kind of shapes, the same kind of measurements. It's just now, you know, you obviously can't see all four eyes right next to each other, right? But it's still going to be top to bottom, about halfway, about a third. So we'll have eye, nose, mouth, across the eye, ear. And if I was to draw that a little bit more realistically, you'll see that it goes down, comes out to the nose, goes back in. You have the lips, and they go down into the chin. And the way that you know where the chin goes in, it goes right up into that ear. Give them little eyebrows, and there you go. So, moving on to the next step is using our stock photos. So when it comes to our stock photos, it is a little bit more difficult to identify some of the shapes, but they are still there, okay? I'll do my best to draw these circles and chin shapes right here. It is a little bit harder because I am working digitally. My hand's not exactly the, you know, most steady. But when you're looking at these different pictures, I'm going to start with the guy because he's doing more of a 3/4, where hers is a little bit more difficult because it's almost to the profile, but it's not quite yet. So her circle actually gets disturbed by the nose. But over here, we do see the circle. And we know that that goes down to where the mouth is. And then we have the chin come gradually down. And go back into it. We can see the center line. And now we can start adding our details with the rest of the lines. So there's that. Halfway down are the eyes. Halfway down from, or a third of the way down, that's the nose. Third of the way down, that's our mouth. And he's got a very robust chin, okay? So if I lower the opacity a little bit on that, you can see when I add details, we got an eye. You can see his pupils. Down from there and down from there. There's the nose. Down from there, down from there. There's his mouth. Eyebrow, eyebrow. And then top of here to the bottom. There's his ear. Okay? And there we go. So it looks creepy. But again, we're not going for realism just yet. We just want to make sure everything is positioned where it's supposed to go. This next one, make sure we get the general shape of the circle, which then goes down to where the chin is. On this one, I really love how you can really see the definition of the chin there. So you can see exactly how it gradually goes up. We then have halfway down the eyes, third of the way down, the nose, another third down, the mouth. So now we can add some details. We have one eye. This other eye we can't really see. It's just a little bit right there. Straight down. Now this part, you can't really use the inside of this eye because the nose is coming off of the face, okay? But we can still use the inside here to find the other side. But our triangle is actually going a little bit off the face because the bridge comes in back that, like that. We can, however, use the pupils straight down to make her mouth. And then again, we've got the ears from the eyes to the nose. So this one, the cheek, you know, goes behind the nose, making it a little bit more difficult to see. But we can still see that some other parts still line up, okay? The drawing on the guy is really creepy. But you can still see where the lines go and things like that, okay? So using our knowledge that we've gained, we're now going to add faces to our drawings that are based on these reference photos. So we kind of have an idea of where they're going to go in the drawing that we've done, okay? So in the last part, we outlined our faces, okay? So that's what we're going to do again. So first things first, let's go ahead. We already have where our circle is. We have where the chin comes down. We know that the center is right around here. And now we can start drawing our half and quarter lines. Now right here, when I was going over the photo that I used, I saw that it went a little bit in right there, okay? Because it had like the brow bone protruding a little bit. So right here where it goes in, right there, that is where my halfway point is. And I can actually see it's pretty perfect, half, half. And then that goes across. Third of the way down, we have the nose, another third, lining up with that circle. We have the mouth. So now we can go in. So I know he's at a third of an angle, but if you look over here, that's 1, 2. You can still basically fit the third one in the middle there. So I am going to start off with just kind of sketching that third eye. And then I know he's got one eye right there and the other one right there. Let's give him some iris and pupils. Straight down from the corners of the eyes. That's going to be our nose. And again, we're just sticking to the basic shapes right now. We're not doing all the individual details. Straight down from the pupils. We have the mouth. Give him some eyebrows. And then from the eye to the nose, he gets an ear. So there we go. Doesn't look as creepy as the other one. But again, we're still just looking at where stuff goes. And now we can work on the little bit more difficult one. So we've got our circle that comes down with our chin, which luckily was very defined in the photo, so it was very easy to see where it goes into that circle. The center line was much further over here. And then again, we have this kind of divot where the brow bone is. So I know that that's my halfway mark. Notice I'm not going straight across, by the way. And that's because we're working with a three-dimensional object. We're working with a sphere, you know, that has shading and stuff like that. We're not working with just a circle that doesn't have any details. So make sure that you're going a little bit curved. You can see I kind of did that here. Make sure you're going curved with your lines. Third of the way down. There's our nose, and there's our mouth. Now again, this one was really weird. I do know that one of her eyes is over here, and then I could barely see that one. But I can still use the corner of my eye to draw where that nose goes. I can give her an iris and a pupil. Go straight down. Give her a mouth, eyebrow, eyebrow, and then, last but not least, ear, ear. And the reason I know where to place the ear is, again, it goes right into this jawbone of ours. So I just kind of kept going until I hit where the ear would go, okay? And there we go. Now, the importance of drawing, you know, just the basics, not worrying immediately about, no, it's got to be realistic, no, it's got to look like this, is by knowing these basics, that's what helps you then manipulate them. Okay, in order to draw things realistically, you have to start with the basics. You don't just jump right into photorealism. In order to draw any other style, even cartoon style, you want to still understand what the basic shapes you're working with, so that way you can then go, oh, okay, I noticed that the eye is kind of working with like an oval shape, so I'll probably want to keep trying with like, you know, circular, oval, you know, more curved shapes for the eye. So these are the building blocks for everything else. And hopefully they make it a little bit easier with figuring out the proportions and where everything should go if you want to work realistically. But that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully I will be putting out new videos for how to draw a nose and how to draw lips. I've already posted a video on how to draw realistic eyes, but the sound quality is terrible. I am now working on my new mic, so hopefully I sound a lot better. So I'll try to redo the audio for that video in the coming days. But thank you very much for joining me for this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!